Hola, welcome to my channel and your channel, Profesora Delgadillo. Today we're going to talk about hexagonal thinking. So, what exactly is hexagonal thinking? It is actually a thinking strategy that was borrowed from the business world and it has been brought to classrooms. It's mainly used in social studies classrooms and ELA classrooms, even science classrooms, because you can apply it in any field. And of course, for language, it is wonderful because it provides a lot of collaboration, processing time, support, scaffolding, you name it. And the benefits of hexagonal thinking are many, and there's not only one way to use hexagonal thinking in the language classroom, there's actually several ways in which you can use hexagonal thinking in your classroom. And the first one I'm going to share with you has to do with PQAs, which are personalized questions and answers. And basically, in here, you can see that the students put their name in the middle, and in each one of the sides of the hexagons they're going to answer a question, and it's going to be a personal answer that they're going to share. And there are a lot of activities you can do after they answer the questions, in which they can use the language and interact with each other. And then at the very end, after we do many activities, after having answered the questions, they connect and they make these beautiful connections. Now, this is kind of messy right now, but this is a teacher's life. So this is what the connections end up looking like. So everything that connects, it's because the student has a connection with the student, and this connection connects with the student. So that's kind of how you set it up. You make this huge collaborative puzzle with the students through hexagonal thinking, and there's a process in which to do that. So that is one way in which you can use hexagonal thinking in your classroom. But I'm also going to talk to you about a second way in which you can use hexagonal thinking in your classroom. So the second way in which you can integrate hexagonal thinking in your classroom has to do with assessment. It is a powerful way to assess, and I absolutely love using hexagonal thinking to assess my learners because, again, it provides so much collaboration and scaffolding, and they get to review a lot and prepare a lot before their actual output. Now, what's wonderful about hexagonal thinking is that you can do presentational writing or presentational speaking. Now, let me explain to you what that looks like. To set it up, you need hexagonal templates, and there are many. You don't only have to use the size. There are many other sizes you can do depending on the students you teach. If you teach littles, you don't want to use this many hexagons. This is too much. But for my high schoolers, I normally use a whole sheet like this or two of these even. Now, for level 1, brand new level 2 students, which are still novice, I would brainstorm keywords that have to do with the unit or theme we're doing, and they are all scattered. I don't put them in any particular order, and it is their job to put it together and explain the connections of the hexagons. They can draw inside the hexagons, but sometimes I don't tell them to draw inside the hexagons because I want to save time, so I just said, I just want 3 drawings in your poster. And they will add 3 drawings to the poster. So this is an example for level 1. Example for level 2, the scaffolding is different. And now this is not the only way to do it. There are so many other variations in which you could do this with your students. For level 2, I did a presentational writing instead. So what I did, we did a unit on Martin Luther King from my friend Claudia Elliott, and I provided my students with already made drawings. Now, if I had a student who was super artistic and loved to draw, I gave them the opportunity to draw their own stuff. But because I did not want my learners to spend so much time drawing, I provided drawings for them that were made by a student from another class. And then it was their job to add the connections and explain the connections. And I gave them support. The support I gave them was this. They should already know all of these words to be able to explain the connections and see what's going on. And then this is what their final product looked like. So we have all the connections. It's pretty much ended up being a timeline of his life because it is a biography, and you can see the writing part. I could have made a presentational speaking, but I wanted to focus on the writing for this particular unit. And then you can see it here. It looks different, but it's still the same product. The connections are maybe placed a little bit differently, but they're still effective. Now, if I'm working with level 3 students, all I will give them would be 2 of these, and I will have them brainstorm connections, categories, keywords, target phrases, etc. Anything to explain what they have learned through a unit, or if we watched a movie and I want it to be a presentational speaking assignment of of them explaining to me the cultural connections of the movie or how it relates to their life or whatever themes we explore, I will give them blank templates. You do have to teach them how to think when hexagonal thinking, and that is a whole separate thing. But it's not hard. So the final products look like this. The final products, even though they have some of the same terms, will always look different. And that is what is beautiful about this assessment. And if they're working in groups, they have to negotiate how the connections are made and why. Because for the presentational speaking part, they will be able to explain all of the connections in the target language. So when they are presenting with this type of assessment, students in level 3 are speaking anywhere from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Some of them may be slightly longer, but that is the beauty of hexagonal thinking in a nutshell. If you would like to learn more about how to do this in your classroom with lots of support and guidance, I want to invite you to check out my course, Hexagonal Thinking in Your Language Classroom, where I answer all the questions that are probably going through your head right now. If you want to check that out, I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you try hexagonal thinking with your learners.